God does not abandon his truth. He relocates it. Church buildings may fall, empires may rise and collapse, but the gospel keeps moving. The ruins of Asia Minor are not a failure story. They are a testimony. In the heart of the ancient world, a region we now call Asia Minor, the Apostle Paul penned letters to fledgling churches that would soon shake the foundations of the Roman Empire. This wasn't a remote frontier, it was a crucible of culture and commerce, the very crossroads of civilization. Here, Christianity didn't just take root, it exploded. These were not scattered outposts, but vibrant, influential communities that quickly became the intellectual and spiritual center of the Christian faith. Consider Ephesus, a bustling metropolis and a major hub of early Christian thought, or the churches of Galatia, a critical region where Paul's ministry defined the future of the faith, and the communities in Colossae and Laodicea, recipients of profound theological letters that are still studied today. These names echo through history, a testament to a golden age of faith. Yet today, these once thriving churches are mostly silent ruins. The epicenters of a global movement have vanished into the dust, their congregations dispersed, and their influence extinguished. How could a faith that so completely dominated this landscape virtually disappear? What happened to Christianity in the very land where it once seemed destined to rule forever? In the first century, if you wanted to find the vibrant, thriving core of the Christian faith, your first thought might be Jerusalem, its birthplace, or Rome, the empire's mighty capital. But you'd be mistaken. The true center of gravity, the demographic and intellectual engine of the early church, was a sprawling, strategic peninsula known as Asia Minor, what we now call modern-day Turkey. While Rome was the political heart of the empire, Christianity there was still a fledgling, often persecuted minority. And after the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, the influence of the mother church there tragically waned. Instead, the faith exploded across Asia Minor. This region, a crossroads of civilizations, crisscrossed by Roman roads and sea lanes, was a melting pot of commerce, culture, and ideas. Greek philosophy, Roman law, and a host of Eastern mystery religions all mingled in its bustling cities. This dynamic, and at times chaotic environment became the primary arena where the Christian message was preached, debated, and refined. It was far from a fringe mission field. It was the beating heart of early Christianity. The Apostle Paul, the greatest missionary of the early church, understood this strategic importance implicitly. He spent the vast majority of his ministry here, tirelessly planting churches in its major urban centers and penning letters to them. Letters that would become foundational texts of the New Testament, shaping Christian theology for all time. It was here, on the desolate island of Patmos just off the coast, that the aged Apostle John received his staggering vision of cosmic conflict and ultimate victory, which he wrote down as the Book of Revelation. For centuries to come, when the church faced existential questions about the very nature of Christ and the Trinity, it was to Asia Minor that its leaders gathered. The great ecumenical councils that would define orthodoxy for the entire faith met here in cities like Nicaea, Chalcedon, and Ephesus. The very creeds that have been recited by billions of Christians for nearly 2 millennia were hammered out on this soil. Its cities were legendary. Ephesus was a global city, a cultural and commercial powerhouse, home to the great Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Antioch, on its southeastern edge, was a critical missionary headquarters, the diverse and forward-thinking community that first sent Paul and Barnabas out, launching the mission to the Gentiles. In fact, the churches in this region were so central to the faith's identity that Jesus himself, in the opening of Revelation, addressed 7 of them directly: Ephesus, Pergamum, Laodicea, Colossae, Galatia. These were not obscure villages. They were names that echoed across the empire, synonymous with the dynamism and intellectual ferment of the Christian movement. The impact was so profound, so widespread, that the book of Acts could make a stunning, almost unbelievable claim about Paul's ministry based in Ephesus. All the residents of the province of Asia heard the word of the Lord, both Jews and Greeks. For a time, this land was the undeniable center of the Christian world. This is the story of that forgotten heartland. Asia Minor was perfectly positioned for the gospel. Roman roads connected cities. Greek was the common language. Jewish synagogues already knew the scriptures. Cities were crowded with seekers. Christianity did not hide here. It flourished. But history, a river of constant motion, does not stand still. In the 7th century, a powerful new force emerged. Islamic expansion moved across the Middle East and soon pressed into the frontiers of Asia Minor, the heartland of the Byzantine Empire. New rulers governed new territories. New laws took root, replacing the old Roman legal traditions. A new religious order took root, reshaping the spiritual landscape. Christian communities endured, but their world was irrevocably altered. They now lived with limits. Special taxes such as the jizya marked their status as protected, but subordinate subjects. Their civic influence narrowed. Over generations, some converted. Less by force than by the steady pull of social and economic pressure, the desire for opportunity and inclusion. Yet, many held fast. Monasteries persisted as centers of faith. Towns persisted, their ancient stones witnessing a new era. Others adapted to new administrations, adapted to new languages, adapted to new rhythms of life. Across time, the map shifted color by color, not overnight, but step by step, generation by generation. This was the quiet, profound beginning of a long transformation. In 1453, one event changed everything. Constantinople, the capital of Christian civilization, fell to the Ottoman Turks. 1,000 years of walls met powder and iron. The great church of Hagia Sophia became a mosque. Christian leadership collapsed. Islam became the dominant faith of the land. Trade routes shifted. Pilgrims scattered. Scholars scattered. A chapter closed. Another began. Christianity did not vanish, but it became a shadow of what it once was. Hold. Armenian Christians. The 19th and 20th centuries delivered the final blow. Greek Orthodox wars, ethnic cleansing, forced migrations, genocides removed millions of Armenian Christians, removed millions of Greek Christians, removed millions of Assyrian Christians. Assyrian churches, ancient Christian communities, some older than Europe itself, disappeared almost overnight. Remember, so, did Christianity fail in Asia Minor? No, it fulfilled its assignment. From Asia Minor, the gospel moved to Europe. From Europe, it crossed oceans. It reached Africa. It reached the Americas. It reached the ends of the earth. The word of God is not chained. 2 Timothy 2-9. God does not abandon his truth. He relocates it. Church buildings may fall. Empires may rise and collapse. But the gospel keeps moving. The ruins of Asia Minor are not a failure story. They are a testimony. Where faith seems to fade, it often migrates. God's work shifts hearts and geographies, not truth. Today the center moves again. Africa, Asia, Latin America. Pray, build, and send, where the Spirit is moving. Hold buildings lightly. Hold the gospel tightly. If this story stirred your faith, like this video. Subscribe for more Bible history and faith reflections. And comment below, what lesson do you see in this story?